The CEO Mindset, a simple guide for everyone. Hello, and welcome to MT. Today we're going to talk about something that can completely change how you approach your job, your health, your relationships, and your entire life. We're going to talk about how to think like a CEO. Now, hold on, don't click away. This isn't about wearing a fancy suit, sitting in a big office, or bossing people around. Not at all. Thinking like a CEO is a mindset. It's a way of looking at the world that puts you in the driver's seat of your own life, even if you're just starting out at a new job or feeling a little lost. It's about taking control, seeing the big picture, and making things happen instead of waiting for them to happen to you. We're going to break it all down into very simple, easy to understand ideas that you can start using today. Before we dive in, I have a simple question for you. What is one big goal you have for yourself this year? It could be anything, big or small. Maybe it's getting a promotion, learning a new skill, getting healthier, or even just reading one book a month. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see what you're all working towards. All right, let's get into it. What does it really mean to have a CEO mindset? I've broken it down into 5 key shifts in thinking. 5 simple changes you can make that will have a massive impact. The first, and by far the most important shift, is taking total ownership. This is the foundation of everything. A true CEO, a real leader, understands one simple fact. They are responsible for everything: the good, the bad, and the ugly. If the company succeeds, it's on them. If the company fails, it's also on them. They don't make excuses. They don't blame the market, they don't blame their competitors, and they don't blame their employees. They look at a problem and say, okay, this happened. What are we going to do about it? Now, let's bring this down to your life. You need to become the CEO of You Incorporated. Your life is your company, your health, your career, your happiness, your finances. These are all departments in your company, and you are in charge. For most of us, our default setting is to blame something or someone else when things go wrong. It's easier that way. It protects our ego. You're late for work? It was the traffic's fault. You didn't get the promotion? My boss just doesn't like me. You're out of shape. I just don't have time to go to the gym. We have 1,000,001 excuses for why our life isn't where we want it to be. The CEO mindset flips this completely. It says the traffic isn't the problem. Leaving the house 10 minutes earlier is the solution. It says maybe your boss is a factor, but what could you have done to be the undeniable best choice for the promotion? It says you have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else, so how are you choosing to use them? This isn't about being hard on yourself. It's not about beating yourself up for every little mistake. It's the opposite. It's about empowering yourself. As long as you are blaming something external, you are a victim. You have no power to change the situation. The moment you take ownership, the moment you say, this is my responsibility, you get all the power back. You can't control the traffic, but you can control what time you leave your house. You can't control your boss's every thought, but you can control the quality of your work and how you present yourself. You can't create more hours in the day, but you can control how you spend the hours you have. Let's think about a simple example. Imagine your apartment is always messy. The victim mindset says, I'm so busy. My roommate is a slob. I never have time to clean. You feel frustrated and powerless. The mess just sits there. The CEO mindset says, my apartment is messy. I am responsible for the state of my home. What can I do about it? The solution could be many things. Maybe you decide to clean for just 15 minutes every single day. Maybe you have a direct conversation with your roommate about splitting the chores. Maybe you decide to own less stuff, so there's less to clean. Do you see the difference? The first mindset leads to complaining and inaction. The second mindset leads to problem solving and action. Taking ownership is a muscle. You have to train it. A good way is to go through a full day without blaming anyone for your problems. If something goes wrong, you have to pause and ask yourself, what was my role in this, and what can I do differently next time? It's hard at first. Our brains are wired to find the easy way out, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You start to see yourself not as a passenger in your life, being driven around by circumstance, but as the driver with your hands firmly on the wheel. This single shift is the most powerful thing you can do to change your life, and it's the bedrock of thinking like a CEO. The second key shift is learning to see the big picture. Most people in the world are focused on their one specific task. Think of it like a huge construction site. Most workers are focused on laying one brick perfectly, or wiring one outlet correctly, or painting one wall. And that's important. You need people to do those jobs well. But the CEO is the person who isn't just looking at the single brick. They are looking at the blueprint for the entire skyscraper. They know what the final building is supposed to look like, why they're building it, and how all the little pieces fit together to create the final product. In your own life, this means stopping yourself from just going through the motions every day. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind. Wake up, go to work, answer emails, attend meetings, come home, watch TV, go to sleep, repeat. You're just laying bricks, you're doing your tasks. But do you know what kind of building you're trying to build? The CEO mindset requires you to zoom out. You have to ask yourself the big questions. Where am I going? What is my goal? What does the finished skyscraper of my life look like in 5 years? In 10 years? This sounds intimidating, but it can be very simple. Let's take your career. The employee mindset says, my boss told me to finish this report by Friday, so I will focus all my energy on finishing this report by Friday. The CEO mindset says, okay, I need to finish this report by Friday, but why? How does this report help my team? How does my team's work help the entire company? And how does doing this work well help me get closer to my personal goal of becoming a manager in 2 years? Suddenly, the task isn't just a task. It's a stepping stone. It has purpose. When you understand the purpose, you do a better job. You might even find ways to make the report better because you understand what it's being used for. This big picture thinking applies to everything. Let's talk about health. The task-oriented mindset says, I have to go to the gym today. It feels like a chore. The CEO mindset says, my goal is to have enough energy to play with my kids and be healthy and active in my old age. Going to the gym today is one small investment in that long-term vision. It's the same action, going to the gym, but the motivation is completely different. One is a burden, the other is a purposeful choice. So how do you start thinking this way? A great exercise is to actually sit down and write out your blueprint. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. What does success look like? Is it a certain job title? A certain amount of money in the bank? The ability to travel? Living in a certain city? Write it down. Once you have that big picture vision, you can start working backward. If that's where you want to be in 5 years, what do you need to accomplish in the next year to be on track? What do you need to accomplish this month? What do you need to do this week? What is the one thing you need to do today? Now, your daily tasks have meaning. They are all connected to your big vision. You stop just laying bricks randomly and start building your skyscraper, one intentional brick at a time. This is how leaders think. They always have the final destination in mind, and that guides all of their smaller daily decisions. They look at the map before they start driving. The third shift in thinking is about making decisions. CEOs are decision-making machines. They have to be. They are faced with dozens of choices every single day, from small ones about who to hire for a role to massive ones about whether to buy another company. One of the biggest things that holds most people back is the fear of making the wrong decision. This fear can be paralyzing. We spend so much time weighing every single pro and con, asking for everyone's opinion, and researching every possible outcome that we end up doing nothing at all. This is called analysis paralysis. We're so busy thinking that we never get around to doing. A CEO understands that a good decision made today is almost always better than a perfect decision made next week. They understand that inaction is often the worst possible choice. Standing still while the world moves around you is a recipe for failure. So, how do they make decisions quickly without being reckless? They understand a very important concept. Not all decisions are created equal. There's a great idea that some decisions are like one-way doors, and some are like two-way doors. A one-way door decision is a huge, life-altering choice that is very difficult or impossible to reverse. Think about things like selling your company or having a child. These decisions deserve a lot of thought and careful consideration. You can't easily go back through that door. But the truth is, the vast majority of our decisions in life are not one-way doors. They are two-way doors. You can walk through them, and if you don't like what you see on the other side, you can turn around and walk right back. Think about it. Trying a new marketing strategy at work? That's a two-way door. If it doesn't work, you can stop and try something else. Hiring a new employee? That's largely a two-way door. If it's a bad fit, you can let them go. Choosing a new software for your team? A two-way door. You can usually switch back. Even bigger life decisions, like moving to a new city, are often two-way doors. If you hate it after a year, you can move back. People who are stuck in life often treat every single decision as a one-way door. They spend a month deciding which new TV to buy, or weeks deciding whether to take a small online course. The CEO mindset recognizes that most decisions are low risk. The real risk is in not deciding at all. So, for these two-way door decisions, the goal is to make a choice quickly and then see what happens. Gather a reasonable amount of information, maybe about 70 or 80% of what you'd ideally like to have, and then make the call. You don't need to know everything to move forward. This is a skill you can practice. Start small. The next time you're at a restaurant, give yourself 30 seconds to look at the menu and then decide. Don't agonize over it. It's just lunch. It's a two-way door. You can order something different next time. The next time you and your friends are trying to pick a movie, just be the one to make a choice. Don't let the group spend an hour debating. Just pick one. By making small, quick decisions, you build your decision-making muscle. You become more confident in your ability to choose, and you realize that making a wrong choice isn't the end of the world. In fact, you often learn more from a bad decision than you do from sitting on the fence doing nothing. Action creates data. Inaction creates nothing. Leaders are biased toward action. The fourth key shift is all about how you manage your resources. When we think about a CEO managing resources, we usually think about money. And yes, managing a budget is important, but the most successful leaders know that the two most important resources they have are not money. They are their time and their energy. These two things are finite. You only have 24 hours in a day. You only have a certain amount of mental and physical energy. And if you waste them, you can't get them back. Most people treat their time and energy like an endless tap. They say yes to everything. They get distracted by every notification on their phone. They spend their most productive hours on low-value tasks. They stay up too late, eat bad food, and wonder why they feel so tired and unproductive. They are basically running a company with no budget and letting everyone else spend their money. The CEO mindset treats time and energy like the precious, limited capital that it is. Every single decision is an investment. Let's start with time. A CEO knows that not all tasks are created equal. Some tasks are worth $10 an hour, and some are worth $1,000 an hour. Replying to unimportant emails is a $10 task. Planning your strategy for the next year is a $1,000 task. What do most people do? They spend their mornings, when their brains are fresh, on the $10 tasks. They clear out their inbox. They get all the little easy stuff done. And by the time they get to the big, important $1,000 tasks, their brain is fried and they have no energy left. A person with a CEO mindset does the exact opposite. They protect their best hours for their most important work. This is often called eating the frog. You do the biggest, hardest, most important thing first. Get it out of the way. This ensures that your best energy goes to your most valuable work. They are also ruthless about saying no. They understand that every time you say yes to something, you are by definition saying no to something else. If you say yes to a pointless meeting, you are saying no to an hour of focused work. If you say yes to scrolling on social media, you are saying no to reading a book that could teach you a new skill. Then there's energy. Your mental and physical energy is like your phone battery. You start the day at 100%. Everything you do throughout the day drains that battery. Some things drain it fast, like a stressful argument or a difficult, boring task. Other things drain it slowly. And there are also things that recharge your battery, like exercise, getting enough sleep, spending time in nature, or having a good laugh with a friend. A smart CEO pays very close attention to their battery level. They know what drains them and what recharges them. They actively schedule time for the things that recharge them. For them, sleep isn't a luxury, it's a strategic necessity. A tired leader makes bad decisions. Exercise isn't something they try to fit in, it's a non-negotiable meeting in their calendar. because it gives them the energy and mental clarity to perform at a high level. You need to become the manager of your own time and energy. At the start of the week, don't just write a to-do list. Look at your calendar and block out time for your most important work. Treat it like a doctor's appointment you cannot miss. Then, identify your biggest energy drains. Is it a particular person? Is it watching the news? Is it a messy workspace? Find ways to minimize them and identify your biggest energy chargers. What makes you feel good and refreshed? Make sure you are doing those things every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes. By protecting your time for important work and managing your energy like a precious resource, you will be able to achieve so much more than the person who is just reacting to whatever the day throws at them. The fifth and final shift is to embrace being a constant learner. The world is changing faster than ever before. What worked 5 years ago might not work today. What works today will probably be outdated in 5 years. A CEO of a company knows that if their business doesn't adapt, it will die. The same is true for you. If you are not constantly learning, growing, and adapting, you are falling behind. Many people think that learning stops when they finish school. They get their degree or their diploma and they think, phew, I'm done with that. They become an expert in their little area and they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. This is a dangerous way to live. The best leaders have what is called a beginner's mind. They are always curious. They are always asking questions. They are not afraid to say, I don't know, but I can find out. They understand that the moment you think you know everything is the moment you stop growing. They are humble enough to learn from anyone, whether it's an intern with a fresh idea or a book written 100 years ago. So how do you become a constant learner in a practical way? It's simpler than you think. First, read. Read a lot. And don't just read things you already agree with. Read books and articles that challenge your way of thinking. Read about different industries. Read about history. Read biographies of successful people. You can get a lifetime of wisdom from someone else's experiences for the price of a book. Try to make a simple goal, like reading for 30 minutes every day or finishing one book every month. Second, listen more than you talk. You already know what you know. You only learn when you are listening to someone else. The next time you're in a conversation or a meeting, try to be the last person to speak. Really listen to what others are saying. Ask good questions. Be genuinely curious about their perspective. You'll be amazed at what you can learn when you stop focusing on what you're going to say next. Third, and this is a big one, you need to change your relationship with failure. Most of us are terrified of failing. We see it as a sign of weakness or stupidity. The CEO mindset sees failure completely differently. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Failure is just data. It's feedback. It's the world telling you, that approach didn't work. Try a different one. Every successful person on earth has failed far more times than they have succeeded. The difference is that they didn't quit. They looked at their failure and they asked the most important question. What can I learn from this? Think about a scientist trying to find a cure for a disease. They might run 100 experiments and 99 of them will fail. Do they cry in the corner and give up? No. They study the results of the 99 failed experiments because that information tells them what not to do. It guides them closer to the one experiment that will work. You need to treat your life the same way. When you try something and it doesn't work out, you get rejected for a job, a project you're leading fails, a new habit you tried to build doesn't stick, don't just feel bad about it. Analyze it like a scientist. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What will I do next time? When you see failure as a lesson, not a loss, you lose your fear of it. And when you lose your fear of failure, you become unstoppable because you are willing to try things that other people are too scared to attempt. So let's quickly recap the 5 key shifts of the CEO mindset. First, take total ownership. You are in charge of your life. Stop blaming, start doing. Second, see the big picture. Know where you're going. Don't just lay bricks. Know the blueprint of the building you are constructing. Third, get good at making decisions. Understand that most decisions are two-way doors and that action is almost always better than inaction. Fourth, manage your resources wisely. Your time and energy are your most valuable assets. Protect them ruthlessly. And fifth, be a constant learner. Stay curious, read, listen, and learn from your failures. Putting these 5 ideas together creates a powerful way of moving through the world. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. It's about designing your life with intention instead of just letting it happen to you. It doesn't matter if you're an intern, a student, a parent, an artist, or a manager. This mindset applies to everyone because at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your own life. You are the one who makes the decisions, you are the one who sets the vision, and you are the one who is responsible for the results. It's a big responsibility, but it's also the key to unlocking your full potential and building a life that you are truly proud of. It all starts with the simple decision to stop being an employee in your own life and start being the CEO. If you found this helpful and want more simple guides on how to improve your life and your thinking, consider subscribing to MT. Thanks for watching.